Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the podcast mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm, of course, your host with the most, Phil Better, and today is a very special sponsored Black Friday episode sponsored by Appsumo, and we're going to be highlighting an amazing tool. Let me tell you about the guest who is the CEO of the tool we're going to be talking about, Vbout, where our guest leads a dedicated team that has empowered thousands of marketers to enhance their technology strategies using Vbouts.com's marketing software. With a suite of 12 AI-powered marketing tools, they have provided marketers and digital agencies the resources to improve engagement with their leads and customers, which we all want as both podcasters and entrepreneurs. Our guest has been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades, and he really enjoys product innovation, public speaking, and all things health, fitness, especially the football. Please welcome our guest, Richard Fallah. Richard, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
So let's get into it. I'm super interested. How did you come up with Vbout? Like, what I read, you've been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades now. So you're well in the swing of how to create amazing products and businesses. But how did Vbout come about?
Yes, it came out of a need, and I think that this is how most best products are born. So short story is, I started as an entrepreneur. I built my own. Well, I started a restaurant with a partner back in 2004 when MySpace was a thing, and I was really fascinated by the startups and technology, and I started building my own products as I was running the restaurant. So I built an online Etsy-like marketplace. It didn't work out. Spent all my savings at the time. I built another product, which is an online homework help for students. You can help them with their physics, math, and computer science, which is my major. I made money off it, but it wasn't really sustainable. The unit economics sucked. And then everybody thought that I built websites for a living because I was promoting the shit out of these products. And finally, that's what I did. I launched a digital agency that builds websites and products for people. So that was my initial launch in 2007. Kind of progressing from my previous
successes.
And as I was running marketing campaigns and building websites, I was using tools like HubSpot and Marketo and ActiveCampaign, Hootsuite, Constant Contact, MailChimp. I'm like, this is the Frankenstack of the world. This is so many products. It's too much, right? For a small marketer, small digital agency, we're about 5-6 people. I either had to pay like $2,000 for a consolidated license on HubSpot, which is an overkill, or I could have 10 products working together, right? And that on its own has its own nightmare, the fragmented data. So I'm like, you know how it feels, right, Phil?
Oh yeah, trying to figure out a CRM that works for you, that has 13,000 things that you don't need, that you're not paying for, but you can't use without, or you're going off, like you said, fragmenting, Frankensteining it together.
So we ended up building Vbout, and I'm like, I retired the service. We focused on the product in 2014, 15, and that's where Vbout came to life. So it's a 10-year in the making product. We have a dedicated team since then. And we have a growing community of passionate people who live on the product, marketers, small marketing teams, and digital agencies. They literally live on the product, on average about 7 to 10 hours spent every week, creating campaigns and automating things and sending out social media posts. So at the end of the day, what Vbout turned out to be is almost like the Swiss Army of your marketing team. We focus on the marketing stack. We built about 14 tools all combined, but we advertised 12. And honestly, these tools are available so you can run your digital campaigns. And on top of it, we integrated very well with third party through our APIs, through our plugins, native integrations, middleware integrations like Zapier, Pabbly, Zip, ConnectZit, and some of these guys. So that's it.
I love that you built it as a need. because you saw that where the market was going, well advanced than everybody else, because everybody was Frankensteining, and you place yourself in a great place for digital marketers and marketers of all kinds, because you have a one tool that is, like you said, a Swiss Army knife. For you don't need the giant, Rambo size knife of like HubSpot or Hootsuite, because it doesn't work for you. Sometimes you just need your little Swiss Army knife that can do exactly what you need.
Yes, and I love all these products. I mean, HubSpot is inspiration,
Oh,
Hootsuite is inspiration, but it just works for certain types of companies. And what I set out to build, and there are lots of players in the market, but I
mhm.
guess what sets us apart is one, the depth of the features. It's not just an email tool that lets you send out email campaigns. There's predictive modeling, there is A/B testing and chunk sending. We have some also AI analysis on your subject line. We have very powerful email builders, spam tracking. I mean, we built like a huge email infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
And that's what sets us apart. But each feature that you get in Vbout, it's really deep in features, but you can just use it as simple as you want or as deep as you want. The second is the price. We are very affordable, and obviously with this deal, this is like a golden goose.
97% off. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
The deal that Appsumo is, you and Appsumo are doing 93, sorry, not 97, 93% off. Still an insane deal for what you're offering. But yes, please continue.
yes, and at the end of the day, the support that you get with Vbout is just unparalleled. It's almost like you got to pay $4,000 or $5,000 licenses to get the level of support that we provide. And I really push the team to provide the level of support that every client deserves, regardless, what level or what stage or what license they get. Everybody's equal. Everybody gets amazing support. And we provide the education, the training, and I think the community will vouch for the work that we've done because they see the progress of the product and they see the work we put in there. So absolutely, that's an awesome deal. Go ahead and grab it because we won't be back at Appsumo. And honestly, the prices are going to increase in
Oh
the new
yeah.
year. So be on the lookout if you're putting things off.
Give me a second here. I'm just going to be busy buying Vbout, because this is insane. I'm looking forward to you showing off in a bit. I want to get into your entrepreneurial roots. Like you said, this is 10 years in the making, building Vbout to where it is today. Did you always have that pull towards being an entrepreneur? Like you said, you started a restaurant. Was that your first entrepreneurial journey, or did you have others before?
I mean, when I was young, I was renting out my soccer shoes for
Okay, you were an
for,
entrepreneur from birth
for
then.
matches. I was 12, 13. I had a couple of spare shoes and I was like renting them for $1 per match or something. So I mean, I guess because I migrated to the United States on my own, I'm like, I'm gonna run my shit. I'm not gonna work for people. Now there's double-edged sword there, right? Because
Mhm.
there's an experience to be had when you work for others. So my first mentor was my first partner, who was this rugged Italian old school guy who's like rough on the voice. I felt like he's gonna kill me every day because this is how Brooklyn, you know, Italian sounding guy looked like. But he really taught me a lot of things about running business and stuff. Um, and honestly, I just always felt like, you know what, I want to do things my own way. And being an entrepreneur is the most rewarding and the suckiest things you can ever do because you have the front seat to your failures and your front seats to your success. You're the first one to blame for everything you're going to do, and you're the first one to reap the rewards for everything you're going to do. So you need to have the guts to be able to take all that pressure on the both lines of things, right? The good and the bad. Also, you're gonna be responsible for people, right? Like I always felt like I'm responsible for my parents, I'm responsible for my employees, I'm responsible for my vendors, for my stakeholders, my clients. So having that kind of nurturing responsibility as an entrepreneur, I think is really important. Some call it empathy, right?
Mhm.
So I think all these kind of ingredients that I nurtured over the years, I think is what defines someone who likes to be an entrepreneur and who is ready to take the risk with pretty much everything.
I like that. And it's true. Um, so you immigrated from where to the United States, and at what age did you immigrate?
I was 18. I came from Lebanon to study computer science. So that's why I came to Brooklyn, New York as my first move. So I went from this little town on the beach, and few few thousand people living in there, and there's all of a sudden this huge world of opportunities and madness and chaos, and uh, it was crazy. So yes, I was 18 at the time.
And it certainly paid off now that you're running an amazing company like Vbout. What do you see going forward for Vbout? What is something that you can maybe tease before we go into a little demo of what's in the pipeline for Vbout?
Sure. First, I also want to emphasize that I couldn't have built Vbout without my amazing partner and team behind. This is just not a one person. I never want to take all the credit. There's so much work to be done in engineering and in marketing and in sales and operations that it becomes a team effort. So I want to be very clear on that. But I think, from the future of the product, I foresee Vbout to become, or my plan is to make Vbout a staple in the marketing stack world. And digital agencies, they understand that they need all these tools. So I want to become a household. Second, I would love to household name. I'm sorry. Uh, I mean, everything that's happening in AI is reshaping the way we do everything, including marketing. So with that being said, we are really iterating and changing things really quickly internally. Because we're a small company, we can do this. We can break things. We can try new things. We have limited capacity, but we have the ability to kind of adopt AI into the way that you do marketing. So not only we introduce a lot of features, for example, AI content generation baked into your email and social media. So you can use ChatGPT's engine and OpenAI to generate social media ideas. You can type in prompt commands and execute. You can say, can you create 5 social media posts about live streaming and podcasts and schedule it to my Facebook group for the next 5 days, and it will do it for you and it will execute it. So this is really some of the things that we have been pushing on the AI front. So I would say make it a household name in the marketing tech space and have AI integrated in every feature in Vbout. And people all the education they need to thrive as an agency and a marketing team.
I love it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where you're going once I get access to it at the end of this call. Definitely buying it because I'm looking forward to playing around with it and seeing how podcasters can use it, because that's my domain. But also, I know entrepreneurs use it because you have shown, and I've seen your community and how supportive they are. Before we jump into the demo, I always ask this of every single one of my guests. Your 10-year-old self right beside me. What's one piece of advice you would give your 10-year-old self?
When I was 10 years old?
Yeah.
So the one piece of advice is, I have a lot of advice. Honestly, I would say don't regret anything you do. Okay, be more aggressive, build bigger community if you can. Although I did my best, but in some areas maybe I could have done better, because your community and your partner channels are the best channels for you everywhere. Like the people that can help you grow. And last but not least, exercise every day, as important as it is to work and eat. That should be your first thing that you think about, because if you're healthy, and exercise and diet obviously are the pillars of that, everything else is easier and more efficient. Your work, your focus, the way that you can present yourself, and the way people perceive you. I mean, this is all a small thing, but exercise and diet and looking healthy will project that confidence on people that will look back, and it can close deals. Somebody who looks good and who goes and present themselves and they know what they're talking about and they're healthy definitely will close a bit more deals than a person who might lack that confidence in that sense. So these are some of the advice that I would give my 10-year self, if that makes sense.
I love it. It's great pieces of advice. I always enjoy asking this question of the entrepreneurs that come on the show, because it's always a very different range of advice, and I plan on putting it all into a book and giving it to my nephew when he turns 10. So he has all this advice from amazing entrepreneurs like yourself on how to continue his journey as he's a 10-year-old. But that's enough of us learning about you, Richard. I want to get into the tools. So how about you give us a demo of this amazing tool so that my audience can take a look at it?
Yes, absolutely. And I know there's a lot to be covered when it comes to Vbout, so I'm going to be as efficient as possible. But I think, I want those who are doing every marketer or marketing team, I want you to just look at the things that you might need, because we built the product in a way where you can simply just use our social media scheduler as one tool. But if I am to break down all the features of Vbout into 3 categories, it will be the lead capture. That means you can build forms, you can build landing pages, pop-ups on Vbout, so you can capture those leads. Once you put them in Vbout, we can then nurture them through automation and logic to educate them about what we do. And then we have some tools like branding, email marketing to retain those clients to come back for more. So these are the 3 buckets of the tool sets that we have, okay? So if you see my screen right now, I would say it all starts with our lead capture, which means I can go to my forms, create a form very quickly, and embed that form on the website. You see my screen, right, Phil?
Yeah, the screen on. I see that it's we're loading right now because you probably have thousands of tests.
Yeah, I mean, I have thousands of lists, absolutely. So to give you an example, I can go in, I can create a form, multi-step form. I can create payment options. So if you want to make recurrent payments, people can pay you and then use Stripe. So you can turn this into like a mini e-commerce. You can add your products, charge one time or more recurrent. You can even have conditional fields. So for instance, I can have this field show up if the previous answer to the previous one was something different. So a really powerful form component on its own right there, okay? And once you do that, you can embed this on your site so you can start capturing those leads. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second top of the funnel stuff is the ability to build pop-ups on your site. So we have a site pop-up utility. And this one is very, honestly, underused. I think everybody should use it. But you can schedule it on page entry or scrolling. Choose your form that you want to embed. So for example, the one I just created. And then I can design the form however I want. I can make it a pop-up, sticky bar, form only. I can choose position, bottom right, let's say. And I can customize the rest, right? Including like the form fields and options. All right. So the key for this is to be able to capture leads and increase that conversion on your site from visitor anonymous to an actual subscriber, okay? And then we have the landing page builder, where honestly, I use this extensively with my team for our ad campaigns, for our events and offers, because you can build those pages on the go very quickly. So to give you an example, just to kind of, hopefully it loads quickly here with my screen share. And again, as I mentioned, Phil, some people might not need a landing page builder. They have a WordPress and they're happy with it. This is just available for them if they like to use it.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. So here you have, ability to do all the white labeling using your own domains. You can choose one of those awesome themes that the team has put together. So I just drag and drop this. And then you can customize. The form is fully integrated. So you can have your payment form right there. And the designs are pretty awesome. So if I am to look at this, it's responsive. You just plug in your information and you're pretty much ready to go. Okay. So you can design these pages very easily, and you can even use merge tags so you can personalize these with people's information. So if I can add somebody's first name and last name. So if Vbout knows who that person is, it pre-fills the data for them.
Oh my God.
One awesome trick that I do is I add people's first names on buttons. So I can say first name like that. So when I send an email invite for somebody, they could have like on the button, they could see their name, right? So
Oh my God.
cool stuff.
That's so, that just like, someone will just feel so connected to it right away. It's like seeing your name in an email. My God, they made it specifically for me.
Yep, 100%.
Ah,
So personalizing landing pages is definitely one of my favorite features in Vbout. Now, once you capture the lead, right? Let's say they went in and then you got the lead in the system. Vbout start tracking, and they were already tracking a lot of the stuff when they were anonymous already. So if I am to just try to find someone right now, let me see if I can just. I'm trying to find you a lead. All right, let's see if this one. Now there are so much activity we track on each person. You can see we have browser activities, email, website. We can have a snippet on the website like Google Analytics, landing pages, goals, pop-ups they interacted with. We have so much we can track on every single one of your leads that it's all aggregated in one place. All right. So there's a lot more to the contacts. You can do segmentation, you can create audiences, you can connect this to third party. So we integrate very well with other systems. All right.
that is amazing.
So that's the first part. You capture the leads, you start to track them. But what about nurture? Let's say you want to create that logic of what happens after somebody fills out the form. Every marketer knows this. You need to create some sort of a nurture sequence. The most popular one is probably if somebody completed an online purchase, maybe through the form or maybe through your Shopify, you're going to send them a thank you email and a thank you SMS message. I think SMS message through Twilio is definitely a channel to try. And now I can continue doing like cross-selling over after 7 days. Let's do that. And then send them the second piece of email and the second piece of SMS. So you can do so much through here by building these logic, as simple as this, or you can even branch out and do things internally. Like you can create a task for the team with that purchase details. You can tag the lead, you can synchronize them to a paid campaign and continue that logic as you see fit. Okay. This right there is a product on its own. And this right there is the majority of our engineering, as you can see. Okay. So far, so good.
I'm loving everything.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, again, you can make it very simple, one-line flow, and create a campaign. And I've seen companies do exactly that. And some, they have crazy automations that are handling their entire internal and external workflows. It's amazing what people have been building. All right, I'm going to try to breeze through the rest, like email campaign builder. So if you want to send a one-time off newsletter for the holidays, we got your back. You can use A/B testing, chunk sending, predictive, some of these cool features. You can see how your subject lines are performing. Some subject lines are better than others, and we tell you how to optimize that.
Love that.
And then obviously we have a drag and drop email designer, so you can design the look and feel of your templates. Be it using built-in sections and designs, right? Or you can just create your own structures and fill them up with your own content. So people are familiar with this. I think it's a really powerful feature. And if you have your own Canva or you have your own, you want to search for animated GIFs and stock photos, they're available right there for you as well. Okay. So how are we doing?
We're doing great. I'm blown. Like I'm just watching this, going, I just can't wait to get my hands on it and start playing with it and seeing what I can do for podcasters with this.
Awesome. And honestly, another thing is you can generate content. If you plug in your own ChatGPT API key, you can do this for free, or you can use our credit system. We have to charge you, so it's a cost. But you can connect your own API key and generate content for emails right through here as well to get ideas and stuff like that. So you don't need to go to ChatGPT to get that content going. What else on email? You can do spam testing. You can do inbox testing on different devices to see how they look like. So we got a lot of things built for email.
Wow.
Yeah. And you see how that sets us apart from just a simple tool that just went out to Appsumo. They might be, trying to figure out if there's a market for it. We're ahead of that, right? And then we have, social media scheduling and listening. So if you want to create reels and short videos or just simple posts, you can do it right from here. So that replaces the need for social media suite. So I can create a post for my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube, and my TikTok. And I can pre-fill it with my information, attach my video, and just broadcast it to these channels. So Vbout will do that on my behalf, right? And then you have the stream. So if you're doing community management, you want to see what people are saying, how they're responding, you can literally just manage your community right from here, and it will go directly, obviously, to the social channel. Okay. So one more tool, and then I'll end with the analytics and the agency. But if you want to create that pipeline or those different pipelines for different reasons, you can in Vbout. We don't want to be sales stack, but you can manage this, use it as a soft CRM. You can use it as a task management tool. It's fully integrated into everything else. So you can assign a campaign to a team member so you can collaborate with your team member on it. When somebody fills out your form, you can create automatically a little lead here and assign it to one of your sales associates to look into that lead. So there's a lot you can do right there as well. And then finally, you have analytics, which brings home everything. So if you want to report in every single channel, schedule those reports to go out to your stakeholders, it's right there for you as well. Okay. So honestly, this is what marketers need. And I only displayed probably half of the features. And I know one tool that many of you use, we have a booking calendar, which you can literally replace your Calendly. And you can just say, all right, this is my calendar availability, Google Cal. People can sign up and it will book them directly through your calendar. So that's also another feature that's available if you want it.
Wow. My God, this tool is insane. I am so looking forward to having my grubby paws all over it. Richard, I'm lost for words. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing this tool. I'm just going to jump off the screen for a second. I want you to let my audience know where they can connect with you and where they can follow Vbout to learn more. So the floor, sir, is yours.
Awesome. Yes, I mean, you can definitely find me. If you search my name, you'll find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect and get your feedback. Also, we have our community on Vbout. If you'd like to join us, I'll put it in the chat. You can search our Facebook group, very active on there. You get the latest releases and event announcements and stuff on our Facebook group. And you can find us on every channel. Even our YouTube is growing right now. So if you want to search us on YouTube and follow us there for the latest tips and tricks and things, you will find our YouTube channel also very powerful. I would love to have you on board. The Appsumo deal is really meant to grow our community, expand our brand awareness through a competitive market. And I know Appsumo users and communities are honestly very vibrant. They give honest feedback. They use the product and they spread the word. And this is what we need, right? That's what we want. So the price that you're getting is great. But most importantly, the feature depth and the support for the tool that you're getting and the continuity of the tool is totally a proof that you're investing in the right product. So that's all I got to say.
Richard, I thank you so much. My God, I can't wait to play with this and see what I can make out of it. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing and building this tool and sharing it again with Appsumo on this special Black Friday deal.
Awesome. Phil, thanks a lot for having me. And thanks to everybody who is joining the Vbout community. Appreciate you.
And to my audience, make sure you check out the show notes, the chat, all that for the links that we are sharing and to connect with Richard. I thank you again for watching, and remember to always invest in yourself.